I noticed on my cable box there's some channels that are reserved just for old movies, like black and white movies, and they don't have to be just country or western. They are old military movies and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, like, who in the hell still watches these things? I mean, I don't know, but to me, they're so boring. The acting is terrible. And yes, it was great at the time, but the effects and all that, bar fights are so fake. And I'm going, like, it's silly. It's just really silly to have these. I would get rid of it. If it was my decision and I could do it, I would get rid of all the old movies that existed. All the old black and white ones is what I'm talking about, all of them. Now I understand that, yeah, the new generation, they see it and they go like, well, I've never seen that before. Like my son, for example, it was months ago, but I saw him watching Bewitched. That was a show that I used to watch all the time before I went to school. I watched Gilligan Island, Bewitched, I Dream of Jeannie, uh, Gomer Pyle, Andy Griffin show. I watched all those things before I would go to school. But it's just like, come on. Uh, who's watching the old black and white ones? To me, they should be just eliminated and then fill it up. Hell, fill it up with those shows, the ones that I just mentioned. Fill it up with those. Because I hardly see that stuff anymore, and I think that kids would enjoy that versus black and white movies. To me, the quality of them just, it sucks. And I understand why they were around for a while because the people from that generation was still around, but they got to be like in their hundreds now for these black and whites. They'd have to be past 100 years old. I say just it's time to bury them and forget them. They were okay when they were new because that's all we had. But fill it up with all these older shows that I don't know if Saved by the Bell's on TV anymore, but shows like that, that I watched. And let's say in the 80s, make it 70s and 80s. Have that on TV. I have a cable box and I don't see any channels reserved for that, but I would rather see that stuff on TV than to see, old black and white ones. So, what do you guys think? Just something that I've thought about off and on. Every time I come across it, I'm just thinking like it's so embarrassing. So let me know in the comments below. Do you think those kind of things should still be shown on TV, or do you think it's time to give it a rest and put on something else? I say 60s, 70s, and 80s. Have that on there because our generation are still, in our 50s and 60s. Um, we watch that. But none of the show that I watched when I was a kid is really on TV anymore. Not that I've seen. I did see him watching, like I said, Bewitched, which I was really surprised. And I said to him, I said, "Do you like that show?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I'm going like, "Wow, okay, I see," because you've never seen it before. So to you, it's new, and so you like it. It's okay. Those shows are okay, but I really haven't watched them forever. Since I was a kid. All right, you guys have a good one. Take care, and thanks for watching.